Welcome to Numbers Simplified. In this channel, we seek to simplify and solve numerical problems. Today, we'll be looking at the quadratic formula. This is part 5 of the quadratic series. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our future uploads on the quadratic series or any other topic. I also encourage you to check out all the videos prior to this part 5. Now, you may know that at times the factorization method or the completing the squares method may be time consuming. In such cases, the quadratic formula is useful. But before we continue, I encourage you to check out all these other videos that we covered in our quadratics list, all on Numbers Simplified. Recall from the completing the squares and solving the equations video part 3 and 4, when we have ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0, where a is not equal to 0, using the completing the squares method to solve the quadratic equation, we would have to factor out the a so that we make the coefficient of x squared be 1. From there, we now apply the completing the square approach so that we have it expressed in this way, where the b over 2a is half of the coefficient of x in the square parenthesis. We subtract the square of that half so that we have that. Now, if we move on to solve for x, we would take all the other terms to the right hand side, that is the b over 2a squared minus 6 moved to the right hand side. Continuing then, we would have the x plus b over 2a being equal to plus or minus the square root, because that's how we remove the square of what we took to the right hand side. And with that, moving the b over 2a that is left on the left hand side, moving it to the right hand side, we have minus b over 2a plus or minus the square root of what was on the right hand side already. And of course, we can place what was on the right hand side under the same denominator so that we get that. Then we are going to have x being equal to minus b over 2a plus or minus the square root of that. And of course, simplifying further, we would have that because the denominator is being squared and it was square rooted, so we are going to have 2a, if I can put it in that way. So now, placing every other thing under the same denominator, we would have that, and we label that as equation star. That equation star is what is known as the quadratic formula. So we use it when we are solving all quadratic equations. Great. Let's look at example 1. Solve using the quadratic formula. Give your answers correct to 2 decimal places. And the equation is x squared plus 3x minus 5 is equals to 0. So for the solution, the a is 1, the b is 3, and the c is minus 5. Substituting in the formula star, we are going to have that. So simplifying further what we have inside the square root, that would be 9 plus 20. All the other terms remain the same basically. Then what we would have is that, so x is equal to minus 3 plus or minus the square root of 29 over 2. We move on to separate the negative and the positive so that we get x is equal to minus 3 minus root 29 over 2, or x having a plus there instead. So since our answer is meant to be to 2 decimal places, simplifying further, we are going to have x is equal to minus 4.19, or x is equals to 1.19. Let's look at example 2. A rectangle has sides of length x and 3x minus 2 centimeters. The area of the rectangle is 63 square centimeters. Find the value of x correct to 3 significant figures. The solution. So we know that the area of a rectangle will be given by LW, which is x times 3x minus 2, and that should be equal to 63. And of course, expanding the brackets or parentheses and bringing the 63 to the left-hand side, we are going to have 3x squared minus 2x minus 63. We now have a quadratic equation, where our a is 3, our b is minus 2, and our c is minus 63. And of course, using the quadratic formula star, substituting for those values, we would have that in place of the formula itself. Now, simplifying further, we are going to get this bit, and then implying that with what we have over here, we would basically have x is equals to 2 plus or minus the square root of 760 over 6. And of course, we can simplify this one further. Remember from our third form video, we spoke about how we can actually simplify the square roots that are of this nature. So from there, we get x is equals to 2 plus or minus 2 times the square root of 190 divided by 6. Now that we have a common factor in the numerator and in the denominator, we can cancel out the 2 since it's the common factor for both, so that we are going to have x is equal to 1 plus or minus square root of 190 divided by 3. We move on to separating the negative and the positive. So we'll start with the negative. So with the negative, we get a negative value of minus 4.26. So we abandon this one because we know that when we're dealing with length and width, we cannot have negatives. So this one is abandoned. Or we consider the positive bit, which would then give us x is equals to 4.93 centimeters. And that's the only logical answer we can have. Now, if you have made it thus far, I say congratulations to you, and I leave you with the following task. Solve the equation 5 over x minus 3 plus 2 over x plus 1 is equals to 1. Give your answers correct to 3 significant figures. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our future uploads. And in this channel, your experience in the session is important. Your preferred future topics, your questions, concerns, and suggestions are always welcome. So make sure you type them out in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching Numbers Simplified. God loves you.